Welcome to LVT-SHOWBIZ, the place to get the fastest, highest quality, most interesting updates and new perspectives on Chinese entertainment. Thanks for watching LVT-SHOWBIZ. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to stay tuned for more exciting stories from the world of Chinese celebrities. Leave your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear from you.
When Shukai leaned slightly closer to the camera, his voice dropping just enough to make people pause, no one expected what would come next. It was not loud, it was not dramatic, it was almost a whisper. But those 3 words, "She's mine," travelled faster than any headline ever could. In that fleeting moment, time seemed to hold its breath. Was it a joke said in passing, or something far more meaningful, something carefully hidden for years, finally slipping into the light? Across social media, viewers replayed the clip again and again, searching for answers in his eyes, in the subtle curve of his smile, in the calm certainty of his tone. And suddenly, one question echoed everywhere. Was he finally speaking about Tan Songyun? For a long time, their connection had lived quietly in the spaces between scenes, in glances that lingered a second too long, in laughter that felt just a touch more genuine when they were together. Audiences first noticed it during their collaboration, where their on-screen chemistry felt effortless, almost natural. It did not feel like performance. It felt like something unfolding in real time. Fans began to pay closer attention, collecting small details like pieces of a puzzle. A gentle gesture here, a protective movement there, a quiet moment where he adjusted her coat or made sure she was comfortable between takes. These were not grand displays, but they carried a warmth that was difficult to ignore. Over time, these moments formed a pattern. They appeared at similar places, sometimes on the same day, sometimes just hours apart. Matching accessories surfaced in photos, subtle enough to be dismissed, yet consistent enough to raise questions. Interviews revealed little, as both maintained a composed and respectful distance, often describing each other simply as good colleagues. Yet even in those carefully chosen words, there was a softness that fans could not overlook. It was not what they said, but how they said it. The pauses, the smiles, the way their expressions shifted ever so slightly at the mention of one another. Then came that moment. "She's mine." It did not sound rehearsed. It did not feel like part of a scripted exchange. There was no visible hesitation, no attempt to correct or soften the statement. Instead, there was a quiet confidence, as though the words had been waiting for the right moment to be spoken. The reaction was immediate. Online platforms lit up with discussion, interpretation, and emotion. Some saw it as a heartfelt confession, others as playful banter taken out of context. But regardless of interpretation, one thing was clear. It resonated. What made it even more compelling was what followed. Not a statement, not a clarification, but silence. And in that silence, the story grew. A simple interaction on social media added another layer, when a post about love and honesty received a subtle acknowledgement. It was not direct, yet it felt intentional. Observers began to connect the dots, revisiting past interviews, rewatching behind-the-scenes clips, analysing every detail with renewed curiosity. There were also quiet whispers within the industry, descriptions of a person who is steady, thoughtful, someone who values privacy and expresses care through actions rather than words. When viewed through that lens, the phrase "she's mine" began to feel less like a spontaneous remark and more like a rare glimpse into something deeply personal. Not an announcement, but a moment of honesty that briefly slipped past the boundaries of public life. Speculation continued to build as new observations surfaced. A shared location, an overlapping schedule, a dinner that may or may not have been more than coincidence. Each detail on its own remained inconclusive. Yet together, they painted a picture that felt increasingly difficult to dismiss. Fans found themselves drawn not just to the possibility of a relationship, but to the sincerity that seemed to underpin it. There was a sense of quiet understanding, of mutual respect, of something that had grown naturally over time rather than being shaped for attention. At the same time, it is important to recognize the balance between curiosity and respect. In an environment where every gesture can be magnified, maintaining a sense of privacy becomes an act of intention. Perhaps that is why nothing has been explicitly confirmed. Not because there is nothing to say, but because some things are meant to be felt rather than explained. Sometimes, what is left unsaid carries more meaning than any formal statement ever could. There is also a deeper reason why this story has captured so many hearts. It reflects a universal idea, the quiet hope that genuine connections can exist even within the structured world of entertainment. It reminds viewers that behind the lights and cameras, there are real emotions, real moments, and real people navigating their own paths. Whether this connection is exactly what it appears to be, or something more nuanced, it has already created a shared experience for millions who have followed every development with anticipation. As the days pass, the question remains open. Will there be a clearer moment, a public appearance, a shared acknowledgement that leaves no room for doubt? Or will the story continue to unfold in subtle ways, through glances, timing, and the kind of quiet signals that only those paying close attention can truly appreciate? Perhaps the answer is not as important as the journey itself. The way it brings people together, sparking conversations, emotions, and a sense of connection that extends beyond the screen. For now, that single phrase continues to echo, not loudly, but persistently. A reminder that sometimes the most powerful moments are the simplest ones. A few words, spoken softly, yet strong enough to leave a lasting impression. And whether it was a fleeting expression or a meaningful revelation, it has already become something more. A moment that people will remember, revisit, and interpret in their own way. If you found yourself drawn into this story, wondering what might come next, you're certainly not alone. There is something undeniably captivating about moments like these, where reality and emotion seem to blur just enough to spark curiosity and hope. Thank you for spending your time here, for sharing in the excitement, and for being part of a community that appreciates stories beyond the surface. If you'd like to stay updated on more moments like this, don't forget to subscribe, leave your thoughts, and join us again for the next story.